We started building a portfolio of single family houses, and we built, to memory, I think it was like 25. We bought 25 single family houses in our early 20s with the goal of holding them long term. Having the residents pay them off over time, and kind of that deal. We got to a point of, I think it was 25 or so, and we realized it wasn't as scalable as we thought it would be. And at that point in time, we had really, and this isn't to degrade or diminish what our parents had done, but we really were beyond, what our parents had done.
Let's dive into the approach, the niche property investment that you guys approach with, right? Elevation's approach. And we're going to be talking in particular what that niche is, and then what has been kind of your guys's, I guess, sustained, consistent success over all of these years in different markets.
Yeah. So I guess, I'll kind of go back to the very beginning. My wife and I, when we started our business, and we're somewhat unique in that my wife and I worked together. We started the company together some 20 years ago, actually probably a little more than 20 years ago, and we still work together. And every point in between, which is somewhat unique. We have 4 young kids and all of that at the same time. But we, when we first started, we had a little bit of capital, that she had saved, I had, saved, and we had some experience. And so we started building a portfolio of single family houses, and we built, to memory, I think it was like 25, we bought 25 single family houses in our early 20s with the goal of holding them long term, having the residents pay them off over time, and kind of that deal. We got to a point of, I think it was 25 or so, and we realized it wasn't as scalable as we thought it would be. And at that point in time, we had really, and this isn't to degrade or diminish what our parents had done, but we really were beyond, what our parents had done in terms of asset ownership at that point in our early 20s. And so we're sitting here like, okay, well, what's next? Where do we go from here? Do we stay on the same course? Do we go for 50 properties, 100 properties, 200, whatever it is, or do we kind of modify and change? And so we ended up spending an extended weekend, and we built basically an underwriting model for every asset class that we could think of. Self-storage, billboards, raw land, for land banking, timber, retail, office, hotel, motel, mobile home parks, the gamut, apartments, the gamut. And our thought was we would put all the analysis on a table and basically let the underwritings duke it out for which is the most viable. And so we were looking for the most viable path forward along at that point in time, 4 key criteria. And the 4 key criteria for our early 20s mind was these 4 things. So we wanted cash flow to the extent possible. We wanted good cash flow. We wanted cycle resiliency as much as could be obtained, in that we wanted off the economic roller coaster. So we wanted, an asset class and a model with, really long-term prospects of income growth to the extent it could be achieved. We wanted tax efficiency. I know that's music to your ears, but we wanted, some tax efficiency, and then capital appreciation. We wanted, the ability to take a dollar invested and grow it into 2 and 3 and 4, over time. So those were the 4 things we were looking for at that time. And so, by our analysis, the 2 asset classes at that time that came out ahead that we thought based on those 4 criteria were self-storage and mobile home parks. And so we went out, we started buying what started as mobile home parks. We started buying mobile home parks. We bought 1, we bought 2. We didn't know anybody in the space, didn't go to a mastermind or a conference or, any kind of workshop. We just went out and kind of bought one to see how it would go. And it went great. And so, we really, here we are, 20 some odd years later, we really haven't stopped. So anyway, that's kind of the origin of where we started and why and kind of where we are.